Okay, today's objective is that scholars will understand and apply cube root functions. This is Algebra Unit 4-2, Lesson 3. So the first question is, what is a cube root function? And you'll see I have one right here drawn for you. So that's just f of x equals the cube root. Notice our cube root, we have that little 3 there that tells us it is a cube root and not a square root. That is our cube root function. If we put it into a table, you can see it right here. One large difference between cube root functions and square root functions is there are cube roots of negative numbers. So the cube root of -1 is -1. The cube root of -8 is -2. That means in this case, the domain is all real numbers. Any number can be a square root. It does not have to be positive. That also means that our range as well is all real numbers. There's no limit to positives and negatives. However, you will notice that negative inputs have negative outputs. And this is what the graph of it looks like. It looks like this sort of curvy S. So it looks like this sort of curvy S. It just sort of curves like this. You might have seen this before, but this is what a cube root function looks like. Notice that it is always increasing. It is always increasing. And this is the parent function, just f of x equals the cube root of x. So now let's talk about translations. So of course we can translate cube root functions just like we have translated every other type of function. So in this case, f of x equals the cube root of x is this line right here. And f of x equals the cube root of x plus 4. All we do again is we just move it up 4. So when it's outside of the radical symbol, plus 4 means go up 4. If it was minus 4, it would mean go down 4. When we are inside the radical, again, this is the big difference, just like it was for our square root functions, plus 6 ends up moving us left 6 units. If we subtract 5, we move right 5 units. And you can see all of these if you do this in Desmos, as you see I've done on here. The other thing you might see is if I make it negative, instead of being the red line that goes, let me see if I sort of trace the red line real quick so you see it. So the red line just sort of goes like this. We end up with this blue line that instead of being always increasing, it is always decreasing at different rates. So those are the different translations of cube root functions. I hope that if you have any questions, you will see me. You should have noticed these patterns. I will see you in class.